Oh, so I'm a little nervous today because it's something I want to tell you, share with you. It's kind of hard for me to say. It may be hard for you to hear. I'm a little nervous. I need to share with you today that I am a Facebook junkie. I know it's hard to believe because I'm so spiritual and all. And what I worry about is that it's a gateway to Instagram and Snapchat and God only knows what else is out there. So, man, I have such respect for you people who have resisted that temptation to get on Facebook. I have to have my morning fix. I know, it's sad. It goes along with my fix of caffeine every morning. I have to sit there and I look at my phone and I flip through and I decide what I'm going to read and what I'm going to pass up and all the cat videos and the dog pictures and pictures of what people ate for dinner last night and all the stuff that's on there. And what's really stressful is deciding whether I'm going to like it or love it or hate it or be sad about it or just ignore it. If you're not familiar with Facebook, you have all these options. What do I do? If somebody posts something about an illness, do I say I'm sad? Do I send them love? Do I like it? God, and what's even worse is when I post something and then I want to check it every 10 seconds to see who liked it or who loved it or who commented on it. They don't love me. That was my realization after last Sunday. I had some friends here from Texas, and we took a photo together, and I took a photo with me and Robin, and we posted it on Facebook, and every 10 seconds I was thinking, oh, who liked it? Who saw it? Why didn't they love me? Really. So it becomes like an addiction. But really, with all joking aside, I noticed how that mirrors so much of my life. Sometimes. How often do I just flip through my life, the events of my life, without really engaging? It's like going from this to that, to that, to that, to that, without stopping and really connecting with myself or with other people. It's easy just to flip through Facebook and say, oh, they did that, like it, love it, comment on it, just ignore it, whatever. How often do I do that in my own life? And the other thing about that is, my question to myself was, why don't I always choose love? Why don't I always choose love? I know it's a simple example, but really, why would I like something instead of loving it? And why do I do that in my own life? Why do I not show up and choose love no matter what? As that video said, live love, choose love. And so I want that to be my theme, choose love. Why don't I choose love? Well, I think it's like in Course in Miracles says, there's either fear or love, one or the other, the only two choices. So if I'm not choosing love, I'm probably choosing fear. Fear of what, though? Was my question. What do I fear? Really, it's fear of rejection, fear of not being accepted, fear of being laughed at, fear of whatever that is, fear of people thinking I'm an idiot, whatever that is, I have this fear of how people might perceive me. Sometimes. And so I can get past that, show up as love, and choose love as that's really what I want to do. I'm going to choose love. I had this great memory as I was meditating on this week. This memory came to me about something that happened more than 30 years ago now. I was in a conference called the Experience Weekend. It's kind of like an EST weekend. Has anybody ever experienced EST? Yeah, it's a long weekend of processing and exercises and practices, and I don't remember everything about it, but what I do remember is this one exercise that the facilitator asked us to do. And he asked us to make two lines facing each other. And he asked us to face each other, and the line then would move around until everybody had seen each other or come face to face with each other. And he said, here's your exercise. Stand face to face with somebody, and with measurement by the number of fingers you raised, show how willing you are to connect with that person. Talk about vulnerable. Now, I was in my mid-20s, so, there were some people that I was like, well, maybe a 1, maybe a 3. Well, there was this one guy in the class, in the group, who was giving everybody a 5. Everybody a 5. And so when he came to me and I gave him a 3 and he gave me a 5, I felt like crap. But as I think about that, I think, why would I not give everybody a 5? Because I look in the face of somebody and I experience my own resistance, my own fear, my own holding back of love and acceptance and embracing. And I wonder if Facebook had a scale of 1 to 5, what would I do about that? Would I give everything a 5? So this idea of being open and receptive and choosing love. And you know what? I get sick and tired of these slogans, these platitudes. Oh, just live love. Oh, just choose love. As if we all know what the heck that means. And if we all have a great idea of what it means, it's like that old slogan of Nike had, just do it. Just do it. But we're not really taught how to do it most of the time. Oh, you just sit up and be love. Well, what is love? Love is more than an emotion. Love is, for me, a consciousness. It's a state of mind. It's a way of being. Like I talked about last week, life is consciousness. And if we're in a fear consciousness, our opportunity is to have that holy shift from fear to love. Because love is a vibration, love is a consciousness, love is an action, love is a verb. And so we get to choose how we be in the energy of love. So I have some ideas about what that might look like, things that came to me this week, how I could show up as love. And the first one is connection. It's sort of that idea of being willing to give everybody I meet the 5, high 5. I'm open to connecting with you, with what's going on with you. What is it you are needing, feeling? What is it that is really important to you, alive for you? That's really a way to express love. Now, I get it. We don't always have the time. We don't always have the energy. Sometimes we're tired. Sometimes we are busy. But I notice myself, unfortunately, not stopping long enough to just connect with another person. It's like going through that Facebook. You know, you can go through it and you can just, well, I don't care about that and whatever. Am I doing that with the people in my life? I think that's a good question for me to ask myself. And to just be willing to stop, to breathe, to be present. Being present for someone is one of the best ways that we can show love to another person. I noticed myself this morning at the beginning of the service. I was like, oh, I have to do this. Now I got to do this. Now I got to do this. Now I got to do this. And I so appreciate Eugene's words and his blessing for me that it's about opening the heart and not just talking at you about what's going on here, connecting in my heart and connecting with you. So really being present and connecting is such an important part of being love. The next thing that came to me about that was curiosity. I hinted at that a minute ago, but it's opening my mind to being curious. You know, for me, and it may be true for you, I don't know, but for me, sometimes I think I know. I've decided who you are, what you're about, by the way you look, by the way you dress, by the way you speak, by maybe some things I've heard you say before. Maybe I'm alone in that. But when I can let go of what I think I know about you and be open to being curious about you, tell me. Tell me about you. Tell me what's important to you. Tell me your story. Tell me your values. Tell me what your purpose is. Tell me. Tell me more. That's a beautiful phrase. Tell me more. And I like that idea. Just tell me more. Be curious. Because most of the time, what we think we know is not necessarily the truth. And I think our society could use a whole lot more of being open and curious about each other, what's really important. The third one is compassion. Compassion is an interesting idea. I found this definition of compassion that I really like. It's from Cindy Wigglesworth, who is one of the lead researchers in the field of spiritual intelligence. In fact, she wrote a book called SQ21, measuring spiritual intelligence and how we can really be in that place of acting in spiritual intelligence. And she says compassion is the most elevated stage of emotional intelligence. It is the capacity and willingness to join another in his or her pain with the intention of helping to relieve suffering while not contributing to or joining in the suffering, thus maintaining inner and outer peace regardless of the circumstances. Compassion is free of evaluation or judgment and simply embraces the other and the self with empathy and gently holds the physical, mental, or emotional experience occurring in the moment. Compassion is the intentional opening of one's heart and connecting with the heart of another. Better stated, it is feeling another's experience as one's own experience. Again, it's not joining, but it's being present for another person's experience. whatever that experience is. It's joining with. And can we join with another in their experience? And specifically in their pain. And sometimes that's challenging, especially if we have our own pain. It can stimulate our own pain, but as she says, compassion is being with someone without contributing to their suffering. So compassion is an aspect, and meeting someone with empathy, really connecting with what they're feeling without joining them in it. So compassion is another way that we can be love in the world. The fourth one is care. I know it's hard to see. But care is also something about helping to meet the physical, emotional, spiritual needs of another person. We have a care team here. You may not be aware of it, but we have people who are part of a care team in different areas of the city, around the city, who are available to assist those of us who might be experiencing something in our lives where we might need a ride somewhere, we might need a meal, we might need a visit, we might need something in our lives at the moment, and the care team is there to help with that. So it's showing up for someone to help them meet an immediate need that they might have, caring for those who are experiencing loss or injury or some other experience where they need some help, but it's being present, caring for someone, doing something. And then lastly, it is celebration. It's celebrating when someone has a joyous experience in their lives. It's celebrating with. It's not just about being present for the hurt or the pain, it's also being present for the joy. Being present with someone and celebrating with them when they have a triumph in their life. And experiencing that joy and excitement with them. So it's important for us. When somebody posts on Facebook that they made this fabulous meal the night before and they put pictures on there, I want to be able to say, I love it. I celebrate it with you. Because why would they post it unless they're celebrating? People post all sorts of things. I love it. How can we choose love for everything that happens, everything that we are aware of that happens around us? Living love, choosing love in every moment. And that is really this idea for me of choosing love, being love. That, as the video said, that is the greatest commandment. And Jesus was asked, what is the greatest commandment? He said, love the Lord your God. The second is like unto that, to love your neighbor as yourself. I'm going to talk next week a little bit more about loving ourselves. Because for some of us, that's probably more challenging, right? How do we shift in our relationship with ourselves? But this idea of choosing love, of meeting everybody that we come in contact with the energy of love, and being willing to recognize when we're not. Being willing to recognize when we might be in fear. We may not even be able to identify it as fear. But it's anxiety. It's any energy of anxiety or resistance or closed off. Can we be in that energy of love, to choose love in every moment? So I'm going to say to you, if you're on Facebook, if you are a Facebook junkie, I might be, if I see something on there and I hit love, just know that that's my intention. Just to love you right wherever you are, whatever you're experiencing, whatever you're expressing, whatever it is that you want to share, to be in this energy space of love. And the energy of love is a consciousness. And what I want to say a little bit about again, I want to remind us about consciousness. We've had many talks about consciousness. I talked last week about the foundational teaching of unity. I think the foundational teaching of New Thought in general is that life is consciousness. Please do not allow that to be a tool to beat yourself up with. Because if you're experiencing something in your life that is painful, that is really hard for you, it's easy to say, what was I doing? What was I thinking? Where was my consciousness? I'm such a horrible person. Please don't do that. We stop, because that came up this week. Be with that. You're right where you are. That's where we start. That's where we are, right here, right now. And now is the moment of power. The power to transform your consciousness exists right here, right now, with every thought, with every feeling, with every word, with every action, because it happens now. We are creating our experience now with every thought, with every word, with every action. And if that is based in fear, then we are creating a future that has the energy of fear. Choose love now, this moment. And if it doesn't happen in this moment, choose it in this moment. But be aware. Don't let the past, whatever has occurred in the past, whatever your consciousness may have been in the past, that has brought you wherever you are today, celebrate all the good that you've brought into your life. But don't beat yourself down for the stuff that you don't enjoy about your life right now. Life is consciousness, and you are the power to change your consciousness. And it happens now. And it may happen gradually, step by step by step. You may take 2 steps forward, you may take a step back. But every step you take forward brings you into a new realization of who you truly are as the energy of love. That's really who you are. So really it's only about letting go of the stuff that you're not. Right? Letting go of the energy that's really not you in the first place. Claiming who you really are. You're love. You're the vibration of love. And we're all here to be that love in the world. And so please love yourself, and we'll talk more about that next week. But love right where you are. Find a space to be in the energy, the frequency of love as much as you possibly can. And know that as you do that, the next step is even more powerful. Love is a consciousness. It's a vibration. It's an energy. And it is what you put out that you get back. So again, another important aspect of loving other people, being in that space of love, is that when you're giving it, you're receiving it. When you're putting it out, you're getting it back. It's a flow. It can't not be that way. So, again, choose love. And use those, if you'd like, just use those ideas about connection, curiosity, compassion, care, and celebration. And when you can keep those in mind, and there are probably many more, I thought about this idea of navigating the 7 C's of love, but I couldn't think of 7. So I only came up with 5. But I'm sure there are many more. I just invite you to allow yourself to choose love, again, with every thought, with every word, with every action, and allow ourselves to bring forth a community founded in love and a world that is grounded in the energy of love. Because love is the healing power. Love is the harmonizing power. And love is the connecting power.